Hello and good day, free algebra. Welcome to 2022, and we're going to start right off with the PO. PO26, continuing our unit on percentages. And what we'll be covering today is called the percent equation. And it's a percent equation because if you kind of look at the types of questions we'll be answering here, what number is 35% of 70? 48 is what percent of 120? 18 is 25% of what number? They all look different, right? We're kind of solving for a different piece here, but you can use the same equation for all of them, which is nice. You're solving for a different variable. And here's where we get into some kind of more real life situations here. Your homeroom, second one here, your homeroom has sold 120 raffle tickets, which is 40% of the goal. How many tickets is the goal for your homeroom? Right? Kind of a real life thing that you may have come across before. We go back. The percent equation is going to have three pieces to it. Okay? It's going to have what's called the part, represented by the variable p, because, part, right? Whole, which is not an H. Spelling is important here. It starts with a W, so we're going to represent that with the W for whole. And then percent, but because variable p has already been used for part, we just use the percentage symbol there, right? So those are the three pieces of the percent equation. And so to start here, we're going to look at identifying the part, the whole, and the percent in a situation where you use this percent equation. So 72 is 90% of 80. Is 72 the part, the whole, or the percent? Is 90 the part, the whole, or the percent? Is 80 the part, the whole, or the percent? What do you know, Kate?
I think 72 is the whole, 80 is the part, 90 is the percent.
And what gives you, why did you say that?
Oh, wait, no. I think 80 is the whole, because 72% of 90 is 80, and that would mean 72. Yeah.
Okay, let's get the easy one out of the way. What's our percentage?
90.
90, right? That one's obvious, okay? The percentage is going to be the one with the percent symbol on it, right? Or if it's written out the word percent, that's going to be the percentage here. The tricky part is identifying which one's the whole and which one's the part, okay? And there's actually a trick we can use to help us here. Lexi, what are you going to say?
It's like 72 goes into 80, I guess, but well, it doesn't really go into 80, but you're finding what the percentage of 72 of 80 is.
Okay, so you're saying that 72 is the part and 80 is the whole.
Yeah.
Okay, because 72 doesn't go into 80 evenly, but you can make 72 items out of 80. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody complained. Yeah.
Okay, Camille. Shh.
You could probably find it out because it says 72 is and of 80.
You're right here. Yeah, our key words are is and of. Okay, is and of. What Lexi said is also correct, right? 72, we can kind of we have a percentage that's less than 100, so the smaller number will be the part. Okay, you can get 72 items out of 80, but wherever you see that word of, and there are some exceptions to this, so it's not a perfect 100% solution, but generally, when you see that word of, what follows is the whole. Okay? When you see that word is, what comes before it is the part. 72 is a part of 80, right? And the part that it is 90%. So to find that whole, you're looking for the word of. To find the part, you're looking for the word is. It's not foolproof, because sometimes, as we know, English language can get kind of funky in the order of words and everything like that. But generally, that's what you can look for. Okay.
Okay, so you said the number before
Are you quoting me? I love being quoted.
So the number before is the part, and the number after of is the whole. Then for the next one, of is before 30, so I mean 30 is the whole, but it is also after is.
Right. So I said generally. right? Yeah. The one to look at more is the word of. That's kind of the bigger hint. So Cade's noticing that in the next one we have that of 30 there. Okay. That's going to make it the whole. Right? You are correct there. That is going to make it the whole. That 4.8 comes after is, but it's the number that's associated with is. 60% of 30 is 48. That is 48 is, or not 48, 4.8 makes it the part. And then obviously our percentage, pretty easily identifiable here, right? 16%. Okay? So your clue, what you're looking for here, especially for that whole, is that word of. Of course, then we get to the next one, and we see there is no of there at all. Okay? So what do we do here? What's our part? What's our whole? What's our percent? 20 25ths equals 80 100ths. What's our part? What's our whole? What's our percent? Blake, what do you think?
100's the percent, 80's the whole, and 25 or 25ths is the part.
Okay, so you said that the 100 is the percent. Well, percent means out of 100. What do we have out of 100? 80. If you think back to fractions, remember that whenever you've got a number over 100, that's your percentage. That's what a percent is. It's something out of 100. So in this case, our percentage is going to be that fraction, which represents 80%. Okay? And then 20 25ths, again, that fraction there, think about what you know about fractions. What part of a fraction is the part? What part of the fraction is the whole? Is 20 the part or the whole? Is 25 the part of the whole? John?
25 is the whole.
Yeah.
20 is the part.
How can we associate of in this scenario? It's not written there, but how can you bring that of back into it to kind of show that 25 is the whole?
20 of 25.
Yeah, 20 out of 25. Hey, what'd you score on the test? I got 20 out of 25, right? 20 is the part that you got correct out of the whole test, 25. Okay, so that of still applies there. Questions so far? The identification. Okay. Sure. All right. Now comes the good stuff here. This is what you want to put on a help sheet. These are the key points. This is how your part, your whole, and percent are going to fit into the formulas here. If you like proportions, you like fractions, you like cross products, what you're going to be looking to set up is actually what we had in the third one and the previous one. Part divided by whole equals percent over 100. The part divided by the whole equals the percent over 100. Let's use this in our first example down below. It says, what number is 35% of 70? Let's identify. What's the part? What's the whole? What's the percent in that question? What number is 35% of 70? Carter, give me one of them. What's the part? What's the whole? What's the percent?
35 is the percent.
Yeah, let's get that one out of the way. Done. Good. Now we're left with of 70 and what number is. Which of those is the part? Which of those is the whole? Some of you haven't heard from yet today, perhaps. A new voice. A new contributor to the channel. Heard from you. Heard from you. Heard from you. Feel the of, folks. Feel the of. Wyatt?
70 is the part.
No. 70 is a whole because
It is after of.
it is after of. Right? That word of is associative with the whole. Okay? Which means that we're solving for what we don't know is the part. Okay? So we go to our proportion, which looks like this, part over whole equals percent over 100, and we plug in what we know. We don't know the part, so we're going to keep that as P. We know the whole is 70. It follows the word of. So something out of 70 equals 35, our percentage, over 100. Okay? Something out of 70 equals 35 over 100. So I said before, if you like fractions, if you like cross products, this might be the method for you. Now that we've got it set up here, what are we using to solve it? How do you solve a proportion? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a C, ends in Ross products. Cross products. Excellent job. Okay. Well, cross products looks like, and you've done this before with dividing fractions. You did it last year in 6th grade with proportions, right? Cross product says we're going to take P times 100, or 100 times P, just that variable second, equals 70 times 35. If you haven't done cross products before, and this is your first experience, welcome. They're great. It's awesome. You can use them to solve any proportion, right? Which a proportion is simply two fractions. They're equal to each other. So 70 times 35 gives us what? You've got their calculator out and ready to go. You can use a calculator on this part of the test. So if you don't have one, get one, because you're not allowed to share. What is 70 times 35? Lexi?
2,450.
Do we have a second?
Yep.
Okay. So 100p equals 2,450. How do we get the variable by itself? What's our one step to solve this equation? What are we going to do, Jack?
We divide 2,450 by 100.
Right. Think back to last unit, a one-step equation, opposite operations. Since we're multiplying p by 100, we're going to divide both sides by 100, and we get 24.5 as an answer. Okay? 24.5. Kate.
Okay.
Okay.
This is just a tiny bit off topic, but is this what the green group learned last year?
I have no idea.
Because if we're learning this now, then are we learning the stuff that they're learning next year? The algebra learning.
I honestly have no idea what green group is.
That was
Just
the
the
higher
higher
group.
group.
We're like the dumb group.
Yeah, but like the
Oh,
dumb
They
group.
were the smart group.
Yeah.
That's what they view us as.
That's
what they view us as. That is so true.
I hate it too.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't answer that. That'd be a good question for Mrs. Fine. Yes.
Can we also do 3.5 times 7?
Yes. You could also do 3.5 times 7 to get that. Good. Good.
7 times.
What took me a minute. She's relaying this back to PO23, where we're finding a part of a whole. Rather than using the proportion method, she just took 3.5 times 7 to get 24.5 directly. That works when we're solving for the part. However, when we're solving for the percentage or solving for the whole, it doesn't. And so that's why we've got this formula to set up. But the way this is written, yes, that is an alternate method. Good. Let's do another proportion one with the second one here, just to kind of get this method down. It says 48 is what percent of 120? Help me identify the part, the whole, the percent, so we know what we're solving for. Because we're not always going to be solving for the part, like when we're in the first one. This one's worded a little bit differently. We're given different information here. Same three variables, part, whole, percent, but different information. So what do we know? John?
120 is the whole
And how do you know that?
because it comes after the of.
Good. 120 is our whole. It comes after the word of. What else, Jack?
48 is the part,
Because?
because it is not 8% and it is lower than 120.
Okay, good. It's not the percent, right? And it is lower than 120. Also, that word is kind of around it, okay? And then, which means we're solving for the percent,
Is the percent.
right? What percent? That means we don't know what that is. That's what we're solving for, okay? So this time, in our proportion, which is still P over W equals percent over 100, this time we know what the part is, 48. We know what the whole is, 120. And we're looking to solve for that percentage. Okay? We're looking to solve for that percentage. So same formula used in each of these, but the process is going to be, where the numbers go is different because we're given different information. How do we solve this now? Column.
Cross product.
Cross products, which looks like in this case, 48 times 100 is equal to
4,800.
120 times our percent.
Oh.
Now 48 times 100 is 4,800, that is correct. And how are we going to get that percent by itself? It says 4,800 equals 120 times our percent. We want to get that percent by itself. What are we going to be doing here? Think back to solving one-step equations. Opposite operations. That percent sign is kind of like our variable, right? If we're multiplying it by 120, how are we going to do that? The opposite of multiplication. Division, right? So we're going to be dividing both sides by 120, and I've run out of space here. Hopefully you have not. But what is 4,800 divided by 120? I have no more room to write. Jack.
40.
40. So our percent, our answer is 40. Okay. Got time for one more. Close out the page. Today you will not have any homework. Okay. But we're not done yet. So Dayton, have a seat. We're going to finish out this one here. Take some notes on it. Right. I want you to identify and set up yourself. See if you can do it. What is the part? What's the whole? What's the percent? Identify them. Set it up in our formula. You don't have to solve it, but identify and try and put those pieces in the right spot. We've got 18 is, 25%, and of what number are the three pieces to this? What does each piece represent and where does it go? Right? What's our part? What's our part, Carter? 18 is the part. 18 is. What's our whole? What's our whole? Tony? What number, right? That's what we're solving for. We don't know it. Follows the word of. And then our percentage? 25%. Okay? So going into our formula, which is P over W equals percent over 100, we know what the part is. That's 18. In this case, we're solving for W. So we kind of picked the pattern here, right? The first one we're solving for P, next one percent, now W, right? But 18 out of something is equal to 25 over 100. Using cross products to solve this, 18 times 100 is equal to 25W. 18 times 100 is 1800 or 1800. I've run a room again. But how do I solve for W here? By one step. Haley.
1,800 divided by 25.
Yep. Divide both sides by 25 to get W by itself. And what is my whole? What does that end up being? Everybody.
75 or 2.
72.
Yes.
I think 18 is 25% of 72. Anyone come up with a shortcut for this one?
Nope.
What fraction is 25% equal to?
1/4.
1/4. So 18 is 1/4 of what number? What would you multiply 18 by to get to that answer? 4, right? If 18 is 1/4, 1 out of 4 of something, you could just multiply 18 by 4 to get 72. Now, that works just because we have a nice percentage to work with here. It converts to a fraction easily. But just like Lexi found a shortcut for the first one, as you work with this more, you'll start to pick up on those kind of quirks, and it's really great. It makes things even faster. Okay? No homework for tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. That is how you math in 2022.